Welcome to Sparks of History, where world history and Jewish history meet. We are extremely pleased to have with us today noted author and historian David Marwell. Mr. Marwell served as Chief of Investigative Research at the Justice Department's Official Office of Special Investigations in the 1980s. He is the former director of the Museum of Jewish History in New York City. And today we will be discussing Mr. Marwell's gripping and chilling account of Mengele, Unmasking the Angel of Death. It's an exclusive first-hand account based on highly detailed research and Mr. Marwell's own role and involvement in handling the Mengele file, leading to the confirmation of Mengele's death. Again, thank you very much for being with us today. Appreciate it very much. To start off, your background and how you became interested and involved in Joseph Mengele.
Well, I should say that, that while I was at the university, I think in the summer of 1971, I read a book by Simon Wiesenthal called Murderers Among Us, and where he describes Mengele and his attempts to locate him. And that got me, I think it was my initial contact with the name Mengele, and it got me sort of interested in the figure and what happened to him. Following my PhD in history, I was hired by the Department of Justice Office of Special Investigations, as you've mentioned, and I joined a small office in Washington that was responsible for identifying, locating, and prosecuting Nazi war criminals living in the United States. In the course of that work, we were also charged with some special assignments, and one of which was to determine whether the allegations that Klaus Barbie, the so-called Butcher of Lyon, had been used by U.S. intelligence. And although that wasn't part of our normal work, it was assigned to us because we were the best equipped office in the U.S. government to deal with that. So that began was the first of a couple of these special projects that went outside of our normal brief, which was to actually build cases and bring cases to court. A few years after the Barbie case, which ended in 1983, a new figure emerged that was in many ways more well-known and more infamous, and that was Joseph Mengele. And I was at the very end of 1984, the beginning of 1985, I was charged within the office to help examine the allegations that Mengele had been used by U.S. military, or which were allegations that were current at the time, and that he had been in U.S. custody and had been released with knowledge. So we began to examine those charges, and as the investigations moved on, it was broadened to include a search for Mengele, a manhunt for him. Another office of the Justice Department was brought in, the U.S. Marshal Service, and soon the German government and the Israeli government joined us in this tripartite investigation.